Hey everybody, this week on the Stronghold Family Homestead video, we're talking about propane a little bit, and I'm going to show you the new generator house. If you're new to our videos, thanks for watching. We live in a 26-foot dome off-grid, and we're starting our homestead from scratch. If this is something you like, check out other videos, and please subscribe. King of the hill, Mr. Hank. A little snack for my two best friends. So two things about these propane tanks. First thing is when you tighten it, it's actually backwards, so it's lefty-tighty. The other thing is, well, you obviously should have a regulator on there for safety, but you always want your regulator tipping down. You don't want it horizontal or up, you want it tipping down. This is what I mean here. So this is your regulator. So you want it to be going downwards. And that's it. So we've been living in the dome, running our stove off propane, and we've been here for exactly a month. And this is the first time we've had to replace our propane. So that's a good sign. About a month per tank, and these are the small tanks. It costs around $35, maybe $45, I'm pretty sure, to fill the tank up. So to cook for a month, I mean, we use the stove every day. We use the oven a lot. So one tank a month, that's pretty good. So one thing I want to say that I learned, I guess we'll say the hard way, is my experience with getting propane from these trade-in propane tanks so far has been horrible. I went to the gas station. When I first got everything hooked up, the propane technician was coming, and I figured I should get some propane tanks ready so when he gets here, he can hook it up and there's no problems. I went to the gas station and got these propane tanks, go inside, and say to the front cash lady, I'd like to get some propane. She said, okay. And that was pretty much it. And I was like, do you want me to do something? Like, I've never done this. What do I do? And she's like, oh, I don't know. So right from the beginning, I was like, huge red flags. Like, you're dealing with an explosive gas or liquid, and you can't even point me in the right direction. So it was not going good. She gave me a ring of keys with like 15 keys on there. And I'm like, all right, like, which key is it? She said, I don't know. It's like, oh my God, here we go. So anyway, I took the keys out in the cold, went through each one until eventually I found the right key, opened up the cage, grabbed the first propane tank, empty. Second one, empty. Long story short, basically every single one was empty except for I think 3. And I was buying 2 of them. So I finally lugged them out, put them in the back of my vehicle, and I said to my wife, like, this is not a good sign. Since then, the propane technician has come, installed the propane lines, hooked up the propane for us. It's been all right. When he hooked up the first tank, he let me know that it's broken. And I said, what do you mean it's broken? And he said, well, basically, he hooked the line up, he turned it on, the propane is coming out of the tank, going into the line, into the house. But when he tried turning it off just to test it, he said it won't turn off. The thing just keeps spinning. So literally the first tank I ever get from these trade-in propane places, it's literally broken. So I said to him, what should I do here? You know, like I want this to be safe and I want it to work. And he said, well, you can buy a propane tank from us. So going forward, after this second tank we already have is out, I'm returning these tanks. I'm done with the trade-in propane. They can deal with, you know, they can go lay down somewhere. I'm going to the propane professionals. I'm gonna buy 2 of my own tanks so I know that they're safe, they're looked after. I'm the only one who's ever used them. And when I purchase propane with my propane technician, because they supply propane as well and fill tanks, their cost to fill the tank is actually lower than it is to do this trade-in program. So the trade-in program has failed me, and it seems like a complete joke. If you're getting into propane, I can't speak for every area, and I can't speak for every gas station and every trade-in station, but I can tell you from my experience so far, don't even bother. Talk to the propane professional in your area, call your propane installer, ask them where to get a propane tank, ask them if they have propane for sale. Stick with the professionals. They know what they're doing. This is an explosive gas, obviously, so you don't want to mess around with this. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. All right, so here's another thing. I'm standing in our new generator house. As you saw in my other videos, I literally had the generator sitting on a couple pallets, and when I was done filling it up with gas, I just laid a board on top of it so the snow wouldn't go on top and mess it all up, keeping it nice and clean as I could. But filling it up that low was hard on my back. It was always covered in snow. I always had to move the board. The generator would shake a little bit and it would make the board fall off. So it wasn't great. So for quite a while now, I've been saying, I really want to build a generator house. So I'll give you a little tour and you can check out what I got here. So here it is. It's just made from pallets and a couple of 2x4s. So you can see the walls are just pallets stood up like this. There's a pallet on the ground. And then I just took some spare 2x4s, made a little triangle here to get our roof. I just pitched it up high enough so that when I'm standing inside, I'm not hitting my head. I covered the whole thing in plastic because one day I'll probably do board and batten siding on there just because I like everything to match. And then I also just wrapped the walls with this double bubble wrap I had. The main reason for that is to just try to quieten it down a little bit and also to keep the water and stuff out. And it kind of camouflages it in the winter, to be honest, which I like. But yeah, it's nothing fancy. And in the back here, I just cut a hole. And that's where the exhaust of the generator comes out. So I'll take you inside. So I built a little deck, or a little shelf, to set the generator on. And it makes it a lot easier to fill it up with gas. And now I can store my gas jugs under there. I got my tools in here right now. And as you can see, it's just really simple in here. But this generator was a big investment for us. It's a 5,500 watt inverter. And these things are pricey. They're almost, I think it's like almost $2,000. So really, really important to keep this thing safe. There's the hole that I cut from this side, and you can see the exhaust go right there. The thing with these generators is it has an automatic shut off. So if you're not in a well ventilated area, this thing will actually turn off itself. When we first moved into the dome, I just had it underneath the dome, and even being underneath the dome, it would turn off every once in a while because the exhaust would build up. But just from building that little hole in the back for the exhaust to shoot out, it has not kicked off one time. So it's working perfectly. So that's pretty much it. I got a little window in here, and this window actually matches the chicken coop window right there. So if I get the same board and batten siding, we'll have matching windows, matching siding, and that's that. Well, we got a bit of snow. Couldn't even get my door open when I got stuck. Whew. It's ridiculous. Well, we survived, I think, the biggest snowfall we've had in about a decade. Everything seems to be fine. Dome survived, pig survived, chicken survived, vehicles survived. And now it's time to make sure our firewood's good. And we got to try to get out of this driveway today. You can see from that last video I showed you, that was a 5-foot snowdrift. Maybe more like 4 feet. And that was extreme. My neighbor Rick came and helped me pull my truck out. Just to get this truck out, we broke a strap and broke a chain. So it was stuck. So if you're in Nova Scotia, I hope you're doing all right, because that was pretty serious. Lulu and Hank love getting new straw. They get right in there and they start rooting around. They absolutely love it. Lulu was completely disappeared in there a second ago. Well, guys, we ran out of wood. Almost. We're at the point now where a lot of the wood is wet and it's just not burning very good. So I took it into my own hands, decided I'm gonna go get some dry wood, loaded up my truck, and I'm gonna stack it right outside my front door. I gotta keep my family warm. So, you know, basically middle of a snowstorm right now, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So we'll unload this wood, get it covered up with a tarp, and we're gonna have a nice warm night tonight. We earned it. Well, thanks for watching this week's video, guys. I hope you liked it. As always, if there's anything I can do to improve, anything else you'd like to see, let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Ciao for now.